Good morning. How are we doing today? It is actually 10:31 where I'm at. Good morning. I'm off of my coffee right now. And today we're going to be going over ticker symbol BTC. I'd like to go over the macro picture of crypto right now and how nice it looks, guys. It really does look really phenomenal. And let's just get right into it. I started this channel here on 610 after I had charted this inverse head and shoulders, and I kind of left this because this is the remnants of what we've charted. I want to see what becomes of a lot of this stuff. So we charted the channel on 610, and you got the breakout from the inverse head and shoulders here, which profit target respected, right? $110,000. You broke down, tried to retest, failed, made a symmetrical triangle, fail. And so now you are getting a peak above. Peaky blindness. So you like to see that you are above this channel. You got to close above it, and now you might be retesting. This wick does not look great. This wick, if it closes as a shooting star candle, oh goodness, could come right back down into the channel, down to $97,000. It's not what we want. We have the momentum on the bull side, and you are actually about to get this cross in the 4-hour, which I believe will continue the bullish momentum here. And actually, before I started this stream, I did post on Twitter that this was actually happening. Choo-choo, full steam ahead, because you have the big, beautiful bill pass the Senate. You have Jerome Powell literally just getting pressure from the Democrats and the Republicans both about cutting rates. Europe has cut 10 times. We have cut 0. So we really have to figure out our monetary policy and why we have not. Because if this bill passes, which allows for increased printing means one thing for the stock market. Greed, baby. So print, cut rates, no war, deals being done with Canada, being done with China, potentially India next week. These are all very, very bullish things for BTC. And I know we had talked about where the indicators were on the 4-hour, that you were getting the death cross, and oh my goodness, it's the end of the world. But it actually, what we had talked about came true, right? We had talked about how much Bitcoin loves to flirt with the death cross, how much it likes to happen and then test it and then create a golden cross. For example, it happened right here. And we had called this out in the moment on 610 when we created that previous video, that it will most likely continue to chop and that you will come down and then bounce back. And you did disgustingly. I mean, you had the profit target from this triangle. You had broken down and almost exactly tapped that trend off of the Iran news. Boom. Up what? How much percent is this? Bottom to the top, make it drop. 10%. So 10% was the bounce play on that, and it's looking nice. You're above the channel, and this is a bull flag. So if I wanted to get bullish on you guys, if I wanted to start to dream a little bit, I would take, boom, and that brings you up to about 160 from the bull flag. And you could see this two ways. You could see this as a bull flag, just continuation, bullish continuation from the rebound here. You could also see it as an inverse head and shoulders. And it might be a little easier if I go on the daily here for the inverse head and shoulders, so I can zoom out a little bit more. But if I wanted to make a horizontal trend here, we'll do it from the previous all-time high, because that really gives you perspective of like what you're fighting to gain right now. You're fighting for your life to get above 109, and whether or not you do it will predicate where Bitcoin goes with the next week. If you're able to do that and bullish news continues to come out, I mean, you are looking at a stupid week. You're looking at all-time highs, and you are looking at a beautiful, beautiful move. That takes you to 165. Oh, man, I feel it. I'm so excited. I am genuinely so excited for everyone in this movement, everyone in Bitcoin. The worst case scenario is that this is a double top, and this comes all the way back down to 60 to 50K range, and then you create a shoulder, head, shoulder. That would be the doomsday scenario, guys, but I just don't see it. I see momentum. I see whales. I see money, honestly. I see legislation being passed on Bitcoin. I really, really, really see the future being green on this, at least the near term. But who cares about the far term? We are trying to make money today. So Bitcoin looks nice, breaking out of the flag, green on the daily MACD, green on the 4-hour or just a, yep, see, I was literally just over this. You did not have that green tick on the 4-hour. You just got it. So it's really trying to battle right now, and that close is going to be huge. On the weekly, you are green. On the MACD, on the monthly, you are green. On the MACD, I don't have to continue. You are green on the MACD on almost every single indicator. Bulls are in control, and that's a beautiful thing. I don't know if you could have said that back here at 74,000, but I was personally buying down here because you need to buy the dip in order to see it rip. But that's what I got on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an interesting asset right now. But I wanted to cover one other coin, and that is Doge. I want to cover Doge if I can find it. Holy Toledo. Okay, so Doge is in two different downtrends right now, and this is kind of just my hopium trend that I've drawn up to see what I think will happen. Is you're going to retest or break, retest, and go to all-time highs. I think for me that makes the most sense. You did just get the daily cross on the MACD. You're still below the 200 and the 50-day EMA. And you are, I believe, breaking out of this trend line that you had back from May 22nd. Yes, you are. So this is officially the breakout from that. And hopefully that gives you enough momentum and enough bullish price action to reach this 18-cent mark, which is the overarching downtrend, the big boy. That's what you got to get above if you want to talk about higher price action. And so I think what will happen is you'll come back up to this kind of neckline here at 19 cents, which 19 to 20 cents, and then you retrace to about where we are right now, that price range. And then you confirm the move, and you get out of this choppy, disgusting range that you have been in since, what is this, January. Yuck. I mean, just appalling price action. I got in Doge off of this bounce right here. So I am underwater on only Doge. All my other crypto assets I am above. I just thought 20 cents was a fantastic buy, and you were retesting this previous top. So I see a future on Doge. I think you break this. This is your double bottom pattern, and it takes you to the next leg, which if you're following this uptrend line, your next resistance would be at 86. Of course, I think you would find some resistance at 50 and then 72, which was the previous all-time high. But I really do think that between X payments possibly being in Doge, between a lot of the stuff that is developing with ETFs, I believe Dogecoin is prompted for a nice, beautiful move. And this is the start of it. You got to break this downtrend. This thing has literally pinned you for the last 6 months. Yeah, for pretty much 7 months, you've been pinned under this malicious downtrend. And now this is your time to break out with volume and news. And that would send this thing to the absolute stratosphere, which has me excited. It has me absolutely excited. So that is my quick little powwow on Doge. Let's go to the weekly, because this is by far the most important thing on the chart that I've been looking at, and I've been tweeting about it, and I've been looking at this since it was in May. And I really thought that May could have been the time where we were going to go. We were going to do it, but we did it. And now is your time. Now is your chance with all of these bullish catalysts, with how much that is happening, not even in the market, right? The chart looks nice, but there's so many positive things happening outside of just the charts that could send this thing to all-time highs. And this is one of the biggest things I'm looking at from the chart perspective. This weekly MACD is probably my favorite indicator in the entire stock market, especially right now. I feel stocks are following this thing to a T. When this thing crosses green, you are up 50 to 100%. When this thing crosses red, you are dumping. You are going to consolidate and find a range that this thing seems its support. So you almost got it. This is the closest I've ever seen personally to crossing without crossing on 524. And so you fake out there, and now you are beginning to curl up. And with price action about to go above the 9-day and the 50, I do think it'll go above both. You should see this close that distance and cross green for the first time since I think November. I've been looking at this chart for a long time, since October. Okay. Cross green for the first time since October. I don't have to tell you what happened last time it crossed green, but I'm going to show you because I'm an image-driven guy. You went up 380% or so. I don't have to tell you that's a great move. That's a fantastic move. That is beating the market. That is securing wealth. That's what we're here to do. We are here to make the bag. And just for perspective, to show how this chart respects the weekly MACD, the previous time you got the cross was back in February of 2024. You made a 180% move. And then the previous time to that you got the cross, we're really going into the trenches here. This was back during our mini recession. The previous time you got the cross here, you made a 86% move, which is also nice. I think either one of those moves, and I'm a happy camper personally. Of course, I'm going to be a moon boy, and I'm going to have this price target that I'd like to see, but I would personally be taking profit at 48, at 72, at 89, right? And maybe 89 isn't the final destination for this thing. It is just my own DD. It could go to $1. I think that's very realistic, that you get one candle that blips up to $1 just so that everyone can say, oh my God, Dogecoin went to $1. Totally possible. But this is what I'm looking for myself. This is not financial advice. Nothing I say or do here is. This is just my own TA and what I'd like to see happen based off of what I've charted. This is my plan. And you can do what you want. This is just what I'm going to be doing. So, Dogecoin. I like it. I like it a lot. This was previous all-time high, 74. So let's just mark that horizontally so we know what everyone's going to be looking at. Let's just do that. Alrighty. Doge. Are they on the monthly? What's a candle on that look like? It's a red candle so far. I don't love that. And you did cross down on the monthly MACD. Last time you crossed out of the monthly MACD back here, you did dump. It was disgusting. So we can see maybe this is fake hope, but I do not believe so. I think the weekly looks too good for the short term to be bad. But that's all I have today, guys. Thank you so much for every single one of you that have liked and subscribed. I've picked up a lot of momentum on X or Twitter recently. So if you'd like, please check me out there. Please like and subscribe here because we're going to be doing this daily. We're going to completely build this momentum from the ground up. I appreciate every single last one of you. So please make sure you like it, you drop kick the subscribe button, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And peace.